laughing at us. I'll edit that later.
Good no, I took a minute of me walking around the table like some. Alright, how do we want to do our...
Ah!
We were requested, you want to pull the name up?
Yeah.
How did that change anything?
So somebody on our, it was the tier list, the Fall Guys tier list video. Serenity Nubosity. That's one of the greatest names ever on YouTube.
And I'll take a screen capture and I'll put the name up if the person doesn't mind.
So he liked the ranking idea, but he wanted us to do it with HeroClix figures.
Now, I thought about trying to do a tier list.
It would have been hard trying to find all of the pictures and everything.
We could have done it.
We would have had to have created our own tier list.
But I did basically promise that person we were going to rank it similar to what he requested. So we came up with the idea of, since we opened 4 bricks from the Avengers Defenders, we'll take the combined of my figures and James's figures and rank those.
The super rares, the chasers we got.
Right, and then the honorable mentions.
I picked 5 honorable mentions that are, common or rare or uncommon.
So this is probably going to be a long video because we're going to go a little bit more in depth since we usually don't do that. And we're going to start off with 1 through however many are here. I think it's up to
14 or 15, I think, isn't it?
Something like that. And we'll rank them all. We'll probably do a separate video for each character because it's going to be more in depth. And then we'll, I guess we'll just make a full length video.
Yeah.
With all of them together.
Yeah.
So it's up to you what you want to watch. You want to watch each individual one, or do you want to go through the entire video and just sit and relax and just listen to us talk about the figures? So do we want to get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, I think you were wanting to hold the figures in front of the camera.
Yeah, I think when we switch, Cody will be in front of the camera and I'll be right behind it.
And James is going to do the honorable mentions.
I'll do the honorable mentions.
Okay, so you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so what's going on?
So now we're back a different position, and we're going to start showing the figures.
Yep.
Going, like we said, in depth with each figure. They'll each be their own separate video.
Yep.
And then we'll get into... well, we won't get into anything.
We're going to do the honorable mentions first. Right. And I'm gonna do those 5. So I'll show you the guys the figure, I'll show you the card, and I'll just kind of tell you about it now. The first honorable mention is this Punisher. Now,
really good ability.
He has a really cool... The reason I picked him, for one, he's only 50 points. But 2, he has a really, really cool ability from range. You see his first click there is 7, 11, 16, and 1. So you'd see his stats and you'd think, he's not the most powerful character. But when you look at his card, and you see his... First, he has the shifting focus, and there's another Punisher with the knife in the set, and they can switch back and forth. I haven't looked at the other Punisher's abilities, but I'm assuming it has to do with close combat, probably. And then he has the Marvel Knights ability. So, if you have the Marvel Knights characters, you can either have a minimum attack value of 10, or you can be a wild card. Now, this is his really cool one. It's rocket-propelled grenade. So, when the Punisher hits a single opposing character with a range attack, instead of dealing his normal damage, which is 1 on his dial, you deal the target 4 damage, and each character adjacent is 3 damage. So, if you find, your opponent bunching up, you could wipe out almost the whole team, especially in lower point games, because this Punisher's only 50 points. True. And if you have characters that only have toughness or don't even have a defensive ability, I mean, there's nothing they can do.
Which many of the Marvel Knights in this set are 50 points. There's one other character that's a Marvel Knight that we'll talk about. Yep. We didn't put the Black Widow in here, who's also a Marvel Knight. So I feel like, like you said, if you're playing in low point games,
now he doesn't have a lot else. But in terms of 50 points, and there's the rest of his dial. He has 5 clicks so he has, 5 clicks or a click per 10 points that he's worth, which isn't bad. He has energy shield deflection. His last 3 clicks, he has sidestep and energy explosion mixed in there.
I feel like that sidestep with that ability. Does he have that ability?
He doesn't have it with sidestep, no. But I figured I had to put him in there for honorable mentions with that ability. So we're going to go to our second honorable mention, which is the Defender's Hulk out of this set.
A lot of Hulks in this set.
A lot of Hulks in this set. Now, He's similar in the sense that I picked him for a specific ability he has, which is this special movement ability you see right here.
Mm-hmm.
He has 8, 10, 18, and 3 on his first click. And here's his card. Now, he has a Defender's trait, which is once per turn for all characters with this trait. If a character uses the Defender's team ability to replace its defense value with the Hulk's, you modify that character's defense value by +1 if it's a close attack. So basically, you're getting a +2 if it's a close attack to defense. And then this one, the Leaping Smash, when he uses Leap Climb, he can after actions resolve, he can use Quake as a free action.
That which is really
so
good.
They can't hide behind, or they can't hide behind or on top of elevated terrain. He'll just go up it.
Right.
He has some other basic abilities. He has Charge, Flurry. Flurry is a good one. Super Strength, Invulnerability, Toughness, and Battle Fury. And this is his dial. So, defense never goes below 17. Damage never goes below 3. For an 80-point character, that's not too bad.
No.
And we've talked a lot about the newer characters, how the point values are a lot lower. Now, this character does not have a low point value, but he has some really cool abilities.
When you mentioning that, a little aside here, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
They have you seen the legacy cards that they started putting out with some bricks where you can pull a card and it goes back to the characters from previous sets and it kind of reforms that character and the points value? Yeah. I feel like I wish they would do that because we just traded a couple characters off camera.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that some people have readjusted some of the point values for some
Now, it's
characters.
just the fans doing it right now.
I know, but I wish mentioned that,
WizKids would do it.
Because I feel like that would make all the different ages of HeroClix really valuable.
Yeah.
And that was just a little aside.
You're right. All right, our third honorable mention is Count Nefaria. Now, he's worth 200 points, so he's a little bit more. 12, 11, 18, and 4, which is, a good start. Penetrating Psychic Blast on that first click there with 7 range. But here's his card. Now, he has some really good individual abilities, or special abilities. So he has this defensive ability here where he gets it on, what did I say earlier? It's third, 6th, and his last click, which is 9. And that ability is Ionic Reserves. Count Nefaria can use Invulnerability and Regeneration. Now, this is the big part of it here. When he uses it and has 1 action token, he does not subtract 2. So you could heal him 6 clicks of health if you roll a 6, which is ridiculous. I mean, you don't get that with anybody else.
No.
He also has a special movement where he can use Leadership and Stealth, which is, too kind of useful. It gives you the extra move, and you can't target him when he's in hindering. He has Running Shot, Charge, Hypersonic mixed in, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Invincible. I mean, he has some... He's just going to be hard to take out. Defense never... Well, it does go down to 16 on his last 2. He also has... not Impervious. Perplex mixed in on 4 through 6 clicks. So, he has... His 4th click is 11, 12, 17, and 3 with Perplex. He could Perplex that attack up to 13. So, yeah, that's our third... One more time. Here he is. That's our third honorable mention.
Well, I know he's 200 points.
Yeah.
But with those abilities, I feel like if you're going to use him in a 300-point game, you could
use him in like a 400 or 500-point game.
Yeah.
Okay, so our fourth honorable mention is Swordsman. And he's similar to the first two, where he has a specific ability that I picked him for. He's only worth 50 points.
But he gets it through the entire dial.
And he gets it through the entire dial. So, here's his card. And it's this one right here. It's not just a sword. He can use Blades, Claws, Fangs. And before making a close attack, you choose one effect for the attack. Either he can use that, and the damage is penetrating, or the hit target is given an action token. And to the hit target. Wait, am I reading that right?
I think you get to use...
Yeah. It's penetrating. The hit target is given an action token, or the hit target can't be moved or placed until your next turn.
So you can use Blades, Claws, Fangs
So you can use Blades, Claws, Fangs every attack.
But it's either, what'd you say, penetrating or an action token?
Yeah. And realistically, if you can use Blades, Claws the entire game, it doesn't even matter what his damage is, because your damage becomes that anyway. He has a couple other he has sidestep, charge, combat reflexes is another
with that ability
is another good one because you move him in.
That's why we put that one.
And he has this 16 defense, but when you move him in close, it's going to jump up to 18
with his charge. And does he have sidestep too?
He has charge. He has sidestep later on, but when he gets sidestep, his defensive ability switches to willpower. But he's for 50 points, it's a solid character.
At a lower point game, he's part of the Masters of Evil too. At a lower point game, I feel like he's really decent. We played a villains game, all villains.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I stood a chance, and he basically won me the game.
He did. He won it for you at the end. And then our final, what am I looking for?
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions is this Electra, which Cody used, and she's actually pretty, and she's worth 50 points as well, so she's not worth very much.
Part of the Marvel Knights.
Part of the Marvel Knights, so she has that same Marvel Knights ability that the Punisher has. 9, 11, 17, and 1. Now, the 1 damage may seem low, but it's not going to matter much.
No. You basically always want to use it with her.
Because you give her... Okay, one of them is... she has a shifting focus, too, so there's another Electra in there. She has a black costume on?
Yes.
I think. And then, of course, I talked about the Marvel Knights ability. And then Dance of Death. You give her a close combat action to make any number of close attacks, each targeting an adjacent opposing character that was not already targeted this action. So you basically want her to get surrounded, is what you want. And then within that, she has Flurry, Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Super Sense. Well, does she have Super Sense at the beginning? She does, the whole dial. She's basically a red figure. She has the red abilities of the whole dial.
Yeah, you want to, and with 1 damage, you want to use Blades, Claws, Fangs.
Yes, because she only has 1 damage, but like I said, that's not going to matter. People are popping fireworks again.
It's fireworks again. I apologize.
I don't know where everybody's getting them at. Electra Nachos. I never knew that was her name. I don't know why I didn't know that. So those are our honorable mentions. There were some other good characters, but these are just the 5 that we kind of looked at and said, if you look at the point value, other than Count Nefaria, who's just a powerhouse, if you look at their point values and things like that, they're little gems that you'll find that you can throw on your team when you have a few extra points left and can actually do something for you.
Of course, there's others like the Wasp, who's really good.
The Wasp has a good one.
Oh, was it the Uncommon?
I can't remember. There's 2 Wasps, and do they have shifting focus? I can't remember if they do.
There might have been 3 Wasps. Was there a rare?
There might have been 1. I can't remember.
There's the Gladiator that's in the set. There's the Black Widow.
This is a great set.
It is. Troll and Toad just restocked.
Yeah.
And if you have the extra money, they're only $40 right now.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good. Which is a good price for a brick.
So if you want some really good characters at a lower price, if I were you, because there's 16 super rares and 16 chases.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can get.
You're guaranteed a super rare, and the super rares in the set, we haven't really seen 1 bad one. This might be the best set for chases in terms of how they play in game that I've ever seen. I love this set.
Yeah,
but I mean, do we want to jump into the next part?
Yeah, we're gonna cut here.
Okay.
And we're gonna jump into the next part.
So for those of you that are just watching this will be this honorable mentions video.
Yep.
And for you watching the longer video, we're gonna cut, and we'll see you there.
Yep.
Yeah.